Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 4 already of NFL Primetime. It's October. Here we go. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland. Yeah, we got some teams that are undefeated. We got some teams that really got to get moving. We had a lot of pinball games on this day in week 4.
Absolutely.
You know what? Sometimes when you're a team, well, look, the Saints, right? Could they fall to 1-3? But be careful. You're going to see Detroit, who after losing 11 straight figured, let the Lions out of the cage. We're going to win 11 in a row. Here we go. Could the Lions tame the Saints? Drew Brees and company already down in Detroit 7-0. And then it got worse. Here we go, Brees. And Danny Shelton's going to tip it. Darryl Roberts intercepts. Here comes Lions? Here they come, Booger. Look out. Matthew Stafford. It's Kenny Golladay. It's a holiday. They're up 14-0.
Glad to see Golladay back from the hamstring injury. Matthew Stafford's #1 weapon.
Breeze and Emmanuel Sanders says, all right, enough of that. It's 18 yards, Saints in the red zone. Then down to the 3, it's 3rd and goal. Pounding. They have Mark Ingram, but look, Latavius Murray can do this. It's a 3-yard run. Saints on the board, 14-7. But, I mean, the Lions up by 14. They're not going to blow the lead.
Not this week, no.
Breeze. Alvin Candied Kamara, that's a pretty play all the way around, 29-yard game. Then, you know, you don't have to be huge to punch it in. Kamara finds his way, and we're tied at 14.
This is what the Saints have to do with no Michael Thomas. Control the ball, pound the ball inside.
Next Lions possession. And they got a chance here. Oh, underthrown. Patrick Robinson makes the pick.
That's on Matthew Stafford. He's drifting in the pocket instead of planting and standing firm and making a good throw.
So Drew Brees now, hey, you're going to give me that? Let me drive the team up the field. Oh, just over the leaping Lions. 25 yards to Sanders into Lions territory then. 2nd and goal, we continue. Brees. Traquan Smith. Now that's a pretty play.
If they can get someone else outside of Michael Thomas at the receiver position to step up, look out, Boone.
21 unanswered points. Would there be more? 3 and out Detroit. Brees, Smith. Hey, they did it again. 28 unanswered points. 28-14. Nah, that's nice.
Who said Drew Brees can't throw the football down the field?
Right, it was a little early to make assumption on everything. Now, 3rd quarter, 28-14. Brees, Sanders makes the move, breaks the tackle. 12 yards on the play inside the 10. Now 3rd and goal. Latavius Murray in the end zone. 35 unanswered points, Saints. Man, Detroit makes a habit of this. 35-14. Matthew Stafford said, well, don't rule us out yet. Golladay, 14 yards, red zone Lions. 4th and 1. He's still doing it. AD all day, AP, Adrian Peterson, still doing it, touchdown.
Continues to turn back the hands of time.
He makes the 2-point conversion, and it's 35-29. It's a game. Until Brees, Kamara, and on 3rd and 3, that ices the game. And so, the New Orleans Saints do not fall to 1-3. They beat the Lions 35-29. The Lions, I mean, they led Green Bay 14-3. Then they're outscored 39-7. Week 1, they led in the 4th quarter, Chicago 23-6. Then they were outscored 21-0. Oh, really? Did it happen again?
Again.
Unfortunately, it did. Now, we had the largest separation in age, 20.5 years, starting quarterback. This is Tom won the Super Bowl of 24 with the Patriots in 01. And this is Justin Herbert with a Charger shirt on growing up in Oregon. Maybe he was the Swami. Maybe he knew.
Yeah.
And so now here comes the L.A. Chargers at, speaking of Father Time, Tom Brady. Herbert said it's an honor to play against him. But you know, Agnes Stanley, everyone was in the house. Way to go, Lightning. John Cooper, coach, really enjoyed watching them play this year. Herbert said, with all that here, I don't care. I'm throwing a touchdown. I'm a kid. It's Tyron Johnson.
Todd Bowles is going to be upset. Zone coverage, safeties, let somebody get behind him.
Now, Tom Brady. Uh-oh. Michael Davis. He read it. He could go all the way. Another pick 6. Brady. Really? Chargers trailing 14-7. Chargers lead 14-7 in Tampa.
Same thing happened week 1. Tom Brady throwing from the opposite hash gets picked off for a pick 6.
Chargers lead 24-7. And look at this. They Now that's Parham Jr., so that play was in there after all. I love doing these live. I never know what's going to
Without a doubt.
And Ndamukong, this was right before the end of the half. They couldn't get the handoff right. This was a killer.
They credited Ndamukong Suh, but it's more on the handoff between Urban and the running back. He's got to get it in the breadbasket, Boom.
Eckler hurt his hamstring, so he was out. That's Herbert and Kelly. And so Tom says, look it up on the board. Wait a minute. I got to put my helmet on. I got to go in, and I got to do this. What a big play. It changed the game right before the half.
That's what you call quarterback mobility, stepping up in the pocket and throwing it up so the 6'5" Evans can get it.
Mike Evans caught it 24-14. The Chargers late at the half, but then Brady, O.J. Howard. Well, he would rupture his Achilles later and go on, but at that point it's 24-21. Chargers lead down to 3. Brady, Scotty Miller. 28-24 Bucks. And they're firing the cannons already on the Jolly Roger Booger's yacht. Then Herbert says, hold on now. I ain't done. Herbert, the Jalen Guyton. It's a touchdown. Chargers regain the lead, 31-28.
The one thing that can't happen in man-to-man coverage, you cannot get beat over the top. If you do, you have to make the tackle, and they didn't.
Early fourth quarter, Tom says, okay, so that's the type of game this is going to be. Look at him fire. Evans makes the catch. Takes the licking, keeps on ticking, 48-yard completion. Then, I know my buddy would say, of course, the Bucs have a guy named Keyshawn Vaughn for the touchdown. Brady a 9-yard touchdown, 5 TD passes. Yeah, he's done that before. 35-28. And then Herbert late to Carlton Davis, down 38-31. And so the Bucs were in trouble. That, you know, it reminds me a little bit as the Buccaneers win 38-31. We hate to keep going back to New England, but it would be like, let them make one mistake, Bill Belichick, and make them pay for it. That fumble kind of opened the door because, again, the Chargers played a very good game. But in the end, Tom Brady with 5 touchdown passes for the 7th time in his career.
We put ourselves in a pretty good hole, and just we're going to have to dig our way out of it. And that's just the way football works sometimes. And just got to tighten some things up. Glad we came back.
Had this been last year, we'd have got our ass beat by 20. This team has a ton of character and playmakers, and we started making plays. And you can see when we don't beat ourselves, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
I thought he played well, but we lost the game. So, anytime we lose a game, it's not good enough. So I can't say someone played outstanding and we go out and lose the damn football game.
I mean, that's Coach Lynn. Obviously, his youngster played really well with all of that going on. But Tampa, maybe, look, not finally starting to click. Again, I think even 4 weeks is too quick to make judgments on teams. But they're rolling in the right direction.
These are the type of games you like to see. The Buccaneers didn't have their A game. Their defense gave up some big plays, but they found a way to win. They got the fumble at the end of the second quarter. And good teams, Boom, win, and they still have things to learn from them. Tom Brady started to use some of the tight ends. Too bad that O.J. Howard is out, but guess what? They got Brady, they have Gronkowski. So when Bruce Arians can teach this team how to win, they're still young now. Right. Brady's a veteran. Gronkowski is a veteran, but the other guys are still young. They learn how to win. You heard him say, last year, we would have lost by 30. They learned how to win a game when they didn't have their fastball.
And Bruce doesn't, he says what he means.
He doesn't sugarcoat it, exactly.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Well, you know what? Bruce has been around the league a long time, as has one of the great people in the league, and that would be Ron Rivera. Everybody knows now the new coach of the Washington football team, battling cancer, had a couple treatments this week, even missed some practice, even took a nap before the game as he had to. And this is what the Washington team, and this is in the stadium, the home game against Baltimore, 450 portraits of his family, his wife Stephanie, his friends, his family, to show how many people were behind him. And before the game, he was very kind enough to speak with our intrepid Sal Palantonio.
When you see things like this and the people that support you and, the notes that I got, the letters I've got, the notes that I've got from friends and people that I consider friends, it's tremendous. It really just shows you that you're really not doing this by yourself.
Al and Coach Rivera lost a brother to it, and so the team wanted to, against Baltimore, which was a tall task, wanted to show how strong they were. And Coach wearing it, his teammates wearing it, and they're playing for him.
And just so he knows, you and I support him too, Boom.
Absolutely. Everybody in football supports him. A great person. Dwayne Haskins, J.D. McKissick, and McKissick fights Marlon Humphrey. He's always around, and Marcus Peters is around the ball. Ravens defense.
Great week for Marlon Humphrey. New $100 million contract, and he forced a fumble.
Now, Lamar Jackson trying to come off that Monday night loss to the Chiefs. How's that look for you?
It's amazing when he gets out of the pocket and on the move how accurately he throws. What a play, what a catch. Almost scored there, Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown down to the 1, and so Mark Ingram powers into the end zone, and Bradley Bozeman.
I see you, big fella. Get a spike.
The big guys had a lot of spikes on this day. It is 7-0, the Ravens. Then, you look at him, the fake, and he's gone. I don't think they're going to catch him. Look at the stiff arm late. Careful with the ball, getting close there, though, but touchdown.
This is what we expected to see Monday night against Kansas City. This is when their offense is at their best, when Lamar Jackson is using his best asset, his legs.
14-0, Baltimore leading in Washington. Now, Haskins, Antonio Gibson on the screen. And look at him get a couple of blocks and inside the 15-yard line. Washington trying to hang. Second to goal from the 2. Gibson slams for the touchdown. It's 14-7. Maybe a ball game. Another big film. I don't think any of these balls had air in them at the end of the day.
It just doesn't feel the same when you're not winning, though.
Well, you're right. Well, but they get caught. That's a fake. Sam Cooke. Another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. I love the late Sam Cooke. Miles Boykin catches it, fake punt. Cook is only 7 for 7 in his career throwing the ball. Now, with that, Lamar says, my punter's going to throw. I'm going to throw. Mark Andrews, corner, touchdown.
His favorite receiver. You figure somebody will cover him as they do a little rock, paper, scissors that boom.
21-10. Now Ravens again. Little play action, and what a target Mark Andrews is. Caught the pair. Washington hung, but in the end, off of the Monday night eye-opening loss for Baltimore, they potentially start another winning streak as they roll 31-17, and Haskins threw for over 300 yards with Mark Andrews after the game with, once again, Johnny on the spot, Sal.
Yeah, it felt great. The team came out. Obviously, last week wasn't the outcome that we wanted, so to be able to bounce back and the balls that Lamar was throwing was great. Just being able to get in rhythm. We got a long season ahead, so excited about it. That's one of the things he's best at, improvising. Found me in the back of the end zone, a perfect ball. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, you want a little action? You want a little scoring? Well, the Cowboys do it every week, right? Browns at Cowboys. Baker Mayfield won high school championship in the stadium, college there. And how about this? Tricky Browns. Jarvis Landry throwing it port side to his buddy Odell Beckham Jr., 7-0 Cleveland.
LSU to LSU, and most people forget Jarvis Landry's left-handed, so that's an easy throw.
Dak Prescott. How about that between two defenders to Amari Cooper, and the Cowboys leading 14-7.
Good throw, bad angle by Sendejo to safety for the Browns. Nice walk-in for Amari Cooper.
Then, Cleveland defense. It was, look, the teams combined for over 1,000 yards. So let's preface it with this. However, this is Myles Garrett. Look out, ball out. Olivier Vernon has it. Browns recovered in Dallas territory.
It's early, but Myles Garrett is on my short list for Defensive Player of the Year.
Baker Mayfield gonna roll it and hit Austin Hooper. That looked very smooth. 31-14 at the half. Cleveland in a romp. They're running all over the Cowboys, even though Chubb was hurt, had to leave Kareem Hunt in the end zone. 38-14, a blowout.
That's a nice number 2 back, isn't it?
Oh, you would think. 41-22, but here's the weekly Dallas comeback. Prescott to Dalton Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. 41-28. Cowboys going for 2. Now it's an 11-point game, 41-30 as Prescott gets in there. Now, we told you we'd sing nursery rhymes. Prescott to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. C.D. Lamb has a TD. 41-36. That's
I like that one. I like that one.
I just winged it. Now the pitch to Cooper on the 2-point conversion. Though they make 2 of them in a row, it's 41-38. However, Cleveland not done with their bag of tricks. The pitch to Odell Beckham Jr. Aldon Smith misses him, and whoop! He could go all the way. 47-38 Cleveland.
Great run, but very, very poor tackling and hustling by the Cowboys.
Now watch this. Cowboys block the extra point. We get it. Try to pick it up and score two the other way, but because they touched it before it got over the line of scrimmage and it rolled in the end zone, it goes down as 2-point conversion Cleveland. That's all correct.
Just like golf. There are no pitchers on the scorecard.
Oh, my, thank goodness. Prescott late, picked off Denzel Ward, and you see him jump.
But that's not on Dak Prescott. That is a terrible route. Amari Cooper hanging his quarterback out to dry. Dak Prescott is going to have a word with his $20 million receiver in the locker room.
Well, a lot of points, Dallas again. But look, the news is the Cleveland Browns, they lost the first week, 49-38. The Cleveland Browns are 3-1. They have scored 118 points in their last 3 games. That's the most in a 3-game span since 1968. That's Leroy Kelly. I mean, I saw them. You did not.
No, I did not.
Afterwards, Cleveland rolling.
We needed to score. We kind of let our foot off the gas a little bit. Needed to put that game away. It's a learning experience for us. But Odell's making plays all day. That's what he's capable of doing. And the play where Jarvis chucked it to him on the reverse pass is pretty special.
Literally, as I watched Jarvis throw the ball, it reminded me of being outside of WCA 804. We would just sit there and talk for hours, throw back and forth. Like it felt like a joke, and not in a bad way. Just it felt unreal to be looking him in his eyes and he's just throwing it. I'm just smiling. Like I felt like he was already had his finger up and I'm already pointing at him. I would trade that play for any amount of touchdowns in the game.
Platinum up top, huh?
Yeah, Platinum rose a little bit. It's light.
So, I mean, I know the end around helped in the running, but look, Cleveland ran 40 for 307. Prescott threw for 502. Where do you want to start, Dallas or Cleveland? Because if we start Cleveland, which we should.
Yes.
What we didn't show a lot of there, because, I mean, there was so much offense.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, a lot of touch on some balls. Really, not that he's never shown it. This was like, I'm in command of the plays we are called. They look smooth as heck to me.
You know, early in the season, it was, what's wrong with Baker Mayfield? They would keep him in the pocket. Then the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, said, you know what? He's only 6 feet tall. Let's get him outside the pocket, some waggles, get him on the run, allow him to complete some easy passes. But more importantly, let's run the football. This offensive line paved the way over 300 yards rushing. So that's a formula the Browns are a running team. People always say, let's throw it to Odell, let's throw it to Jarvis. No, let's run the football with Chubb and up the middle with Kareem Hunt and then play action off of it. They did a fantastic job of that today.
Look, Dallas's offensive numbers, if you're just looking at stats, is off the charts. They can't play defense like this for the rest of the year. But they can't. If they do, they're not going to survive.
Without a doubt. And it's all on Mike Nolan. We can talk about the offense and Dak throwing for almost 1,700 yards in 4 games. But here's the bottom line. They have a defensive coordinator that hadn't coached since 2014. And the 3 years previously, in 2012, 2013, and 2014, his defense, Mike Nolan, was ranked no higher than 25th. He hadn't coached in 5 years, and now his defense is terrible. The Cowboys are not giving effort. They're missing gaps. And when you give up 300 yards rushing, it's not hard to play defense in this league. It's simple. It's hustle, it's effort, and it's gap control. And right now, the Cowboys are doing none of it. And Mike Nolan and Mike McCarthy have to speak for it because the Cowboys weren't this bad on defense last year.
Well, it can't be all on them. Mike Nolan didn't forget everything he knows about defense. I mean, look, so far, it's hard to ask your guys to come back from 3 to 4 touchdowns
every week. Right.
Every week.
Yeah,
do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
You just can't do that.
You had a team that came from way back last week, almost won, but did not, were the LA Rams. They were at home against the New York Football Giants, winless on the year, and you figured this would be a laugher, but it was not. So the first Ram possession, Gerald Everett going to take it, and okay, we're on our way to a laugher. It's 7-0.
No team in football has as many running plays as the Rams, a little tight end around for the touchdown.
So, now the third quarter. Aaron Donald, Nick Gates. That was not the end of that either, at least to these two teams. Giants trail only 10-9 in the fourth quarter. Daniel Jones, Golden Tate, taken to Jalen Ramsey. with a huge stop there.
That's the most physical I've seen Jalen Ramsey in his career. I'm just being honest.
You're like Bruce Arians. You don't sugarcoat anything. Giants are going to have to punt. That was a 3rd and 3. Now, 3rd and 3 Rams. Goff. Jared Goff to Cooper Kupp. And he can move. And he turns the safety around. And Kupp is in the end zone, and it's 17-9 Rams.
Real nice job of Jared Goff looking the safety off, allowing Kupp to get inside, and he makes a pinpoint throw, and Kupp does the rest.
Now, 2 minutes to just after the 2-minute warning. The Giants still got a shot, right? Jones, he can move. He spins for the first down, a 13-yard carry. Tick, 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 tick. 59 seconds to go. 2nd and 5 down to the 18. Jones looking for Darius Williams. Picked off Darius Williams. Rams, what a play, and that cements it. The Giants had a chance to tie it.
That's been the Rams' formula, Boom. The defense is playing well, run the football, limit Jared Goff's throws. So far, so good. They are a very, very good team.
And the Rams win 17-9. Coaches shake hands, but the players, I don't think this is a handshake.
No, it's not a handshake. It's some bad blood between Ramsey and Golden Tate there. Hopefully they get that worked out, because there's no place in our game for that, especially after the game, after Harbaugh game.
So, there was a lot of that, a lot of 5-minute majors for fighting. We had the Stanley Cup in the show. I mean, I got to talk a little hockey.
I like it.
The Rams, the Giants still winless. The Rams up their mark 2, 3, and 1 in a very, very tough NFC West. The day began with everybody over 500. That includes 2-1 Arizona going into Carolina. Carolina, first win under new coach Matt Golden Rule last week. Teddy Bridgewater. Now, his knee injury in 2016 was one of the worst. And just to see him run it, I know he's played. Now he hits DJ Moore underneath. He fights off Patrick Peterson. Midway through the first, Mike Davis into the end zone. Carolina leads 7-0. Another big fella. Spike of the ball. Love it. Now Teddy. Can I just say it? All he does is win, Booger. He just wins. Bridgewater to Moore, 23 yards.
Great leader, great winner. Good to see him healthy and playing good football.
And the reason we mentioned the knees, look at this. Keep in mind, I know that's 4 years ago. His first rushing touchdown since the surgery. Hello.
Was that Lamar Jackson? No, that's Teddy Bridgewater. Look,
yeah.
Look at the cuts. It just shows you how confident he is in the knee. He's not even thinking about it.
That's just awesome. Now, Bridgewater. You know, Arizona's got players. He fires a little overthrow, and Patrick Peterson, Johnny on the spot, and makes the interception in Panthers territory. Kyler Murray, well, we know he can run, but we also know he can throw, and that's nice. Jordan Thomas, it's a 14-7 Carolina lead. But the Panthers in red zone. Davis, you know, no Christian McCaffrey. Davis getting the ball inside the 10.
If you watch the tape, though, you can start to see Matt Rule's identity on this team, the toughness, the physicality. He brought that from Baylor, and it's starting to be implemented in Carolina.
2 minutes to go in the half. Bridgewater's wide open. Reggie Bonifant.
Okay, dance, big fella, dance. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You see him dance
Spike
before?
it, we dance. It's 21-7. Bridgewater rolling. Ian Thomas. The Teddy runs for one. He throws a couple. The Panthers have won 2 in a row, and they win it by the count of 31-21. And you know what? I'm going to say it again. He wins games.
People call him a game manager. I just love how he plays. System quarterback, whatever you want to call him, you have to call him a winner because he understands how to execute an offense at a very, very high level.
So Arizona falls to 2-2. As we do this show, San Francisco is yet to play on Sunday night. Seattle, could they go to 4-0? Well, they're going to have to do it without Jamal Adams. He's watching at home with his helmet on.
Yeah,
what a gamer he is, huh?
That's a little weird. I never took my helmet off.
Well, I mean, nothing weird about the way Russell Wilson is playing, even in hot Miami. DK Metcalf, yeah, he's going to, on the sideline, 37-yard gain. And then, found out today, Chris Carson could go running up the middle, touchdown, 7-0 Seattle. Now, big ball, 24 seconds to go in the half. There's a touchback, and Miami's kicked a field goal. So this is new football, right? From our own 25 or 24 seconds to go, we're throwing to Greg Olsen. We're throwing. We're rolling. were finding David Moore. Yes, they had timeouts, but this is a new way to play it.
There are only a few quarterbacks in the league that can make that one. Rodgers, Wilson, Mahomes, that's it.
And then 2 plays later, 2nd and goal, Wilson to Travis Homer. He's from the area, right? It's a Homer game.
Exactly.
And so it's 17-9. All that in the last 24 seconds. Miles Gaskin tried to run left. Alton Robinson with the stuff. Brian Flores says, well, we're at the 9. It's the 4th quarter. We needed it. Settled for field goal, 17-15. Play action Wilson. Tyler Lockett, the little guy, can run and find space. 30 yards. Seattle down to the 17. Wilson. Oh! David Moore, 7th-round pick once upon a time.
Great body control by Moore, catching the ball, but also getting his feet down. And nobody throws the deep ball better than Russell Wilson.
24-15. Dolphins trying to respond. Will there be some Fitz magic? Well, Fitzy trying. Seattle depleted in the secondary, but the constant so far this year has been Shaquille Griffin. He makes the pick. He turns it up. 2 picks today, Seattle. And then right away you get a turnover. It's 9 points. But Seattle, look, if they went for it with 24 seconds to go, the little hitch. Metcalf, he's a big fella, and when he picks up speed, down to the 1-yard line. And then the next play, the big guy is going to run it in. Carson, Miami was competitive. They're coming for B-Flow. You can see it. But look, Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks, they are 4-0. They win it 31-23. It must be said that the Seahawks have been 4-0 once upon a time in their career, only one other time. But that would be 2013. That would be when they won the Super Bowl. Long way to go. Russell Wilson, 16 touchdown passes in the first 4 games. Only Peyton Manning did that first 4 games from anybody. 2013, the Denver Broncos. After the game, DK Metcalf.
We've got a lot of work in during the offseason. Actually lived with them for like a month during the quarantine. So it was just a good experience just to be around a future Hall of Famer. Russ for MVP 2020, by the way. But it's just been, a great experience just learning from him the game, about life, and just everything else. Just trying to soak up all the knowledge I can.
I think DK's been great all year. First of all, he lived with me. I didn't live with him. I got those 3 kids at home. So he stayed in the crib. But no, I'm just messing with you. But we had a great time. Obviously, I think all the time that we got together and just spent together, it's shown up in so many different ways. He was exceptional once again today. He's been on his stuff. He's a special player. I'm glad he's on our team for sure.
Moving in with the Wilsons. I mean, Tierra, the young family, Russell.
A lot of kids, though. A lot of kids. Not much sleep in the house these days.
Well, Russell's up early anyway. So that is certainly, the Seahawks are 4-0 and with a depleted defense. So statistically, you're going, today was better. But they don't have a lot of what they're counting on this year. They're hoping to be built from the back up, but they're playing like their 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th defensive backs. Nobody argues with a 4-0 start.
Without a doubt. And the team has changed. It used to be the Legion of Boom, but it's been a great job by Brian Schottenheimer and Pete Carroll. And let's use what we have. We have one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League. DK Metcalf, his 2nd straight 100-yard game to go with Tyler Lockett, Greg Olsen. So I'm going to play. Let's play from ahead. Let's not run the football and try to eke it out at the end. Let's get ahead, throw the football, get some explosive plays down the field, and then we can come back in the end, a la the old Dallas Cowboys. Let's throw to get ahead, and then we'll pound you with him in late. It's a good formula, and as long as they stay healthy and DK continues to improve, they can beat anybody. Anybody in this league with this formula. Their defense just has to get timely stopped. They don't have to stop everybody, but timely stops.
You know what, I saw a couple of cutaways on the telecast. Pete Carroll, he sowed his oats. Really, he's a defensive back coach.
Yes,
He's obviously outstanding at defensive coach. He, like Coach Belichick, Andy Reid goes over to talk to Mahomes even while the game is going. Game is going on with Russell. That's okay. He's talking to his defensive backs like, okay, I know a lot of you guys haven't played together before. They're all in. They're all in. They're on their way.
Always coaching. A good coach is always coaching, even during the game, Boom.
They are on their way. And speaking of another team that the Buffalo Bills can go 4-0 like last year, well, cross country to Las Vegas, Buffalo. Josh Allen. He's just, let's go. Whatever we got in the playbook, let him throw it. Cole Beasley, 11-yard touchdown. Beautiful catch.
Just a great throw, beautiful catch. Those two have a little chemistry going here as of late.
So the Bills at this point lead 14-3. It's 14-6. Defenses force the Raiders to kick field goals deep in their territory. Allen gets pressure on 3rd and 10. Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? What did we do, Stephon Diggs? He's shaken up right before the half.
That's no, you didn't. He's got to stop making those plays. They're good enough where he doesn't have to make those crazy plays.
Told you, I'm not trying to compare, but a little young Brett in him.
You like that one?
Oh, come on now. I lived that one, and I'm living this one. So, Carr finds Jason Witten for 15 yards. Hey, man.
Where'd they dig him up at?
Your partner. Derek Carr. You know, that worked in the field. Why don't we hit the end zone? Witten, touchdown. Have cut it to 17-13. Allen working on his arm. I'm not coming out on the 15-yard line. Look at this play all the way around. Good protection. John Brown. I don't know why they didn't call it, but the throw and the catch was unbelievable. And the third quarter.
He dropped down like the Baltimore's Orioles sidearm or Darren O'Day, a little sidearm, and dropped it in there. That's got to be a touchdown.
I am surprised.
Yes.
Sean McDermott challenges another look at Stud. The Bills do punch it in, 23-16, but they missed the extra point. Carr, Darren Waller. Oh, it's a fumble. Josh Norman playing for the Bills.
Where did they get him from? They got him off the milk carton.
See? Josh Norman. They think they're going places. Let's get a little experience back there.
This defense, boom, forcing turnovers. Leslie Frazier, Sean McDermott doing a nice job.
Then Allen. Think he has time? To Stephon Diggs. How you digs me now? 49 yards. They get turnovers. They go deep. A little shoving. Devin Singletary around the left. He's in. 2-yard touchdown. The Bills lead 30-16. 4th and 1. Can the Bills defense make a stop? You know that Josh Jacobs is capable of. They make a stop. They were stout today, Bills defense. He stopped, turnover on downs, 5.5 to go in the game. Raiders get another chance. Carr, pressure, fumble. Quentin Jefferson's going to fall on it. Raiders do score late, but the Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen, are 4-0 as they were last year when they made the playoffs. The Bills win at 30-23. You know what? They're exciting to watch. And on this day, it was because you think that fourth quarter, the Rams came all the way back to take the lead. Their defense is falling over just when their offense looks good. On this day, that was the defense. Sean McDermott is a defensive coach.
Right.
They look like a defense that may be going places.
Playing complementary football. The offense doing just enough. That's where Josh Allen has to learn. You have a very good defense. You don't have to score 30 points every week. Make the plays that are there. And then this defense, as they continue to rush the passer, Ed Oliver, as he continues to take that next step, high draft pick inside, you know what they have back in linebacker, Milano, Edwards. Those guys can play, hide. It's amazing what this defense can do. It was one of the top defenses in the league last year, and dare I say, they're there. And when they turn the football over with their defense, they're going to be really tough to beat.
Well, and these 4-0 starts, I mean, they did it in the Jim Kelly heydays a couple times in the 90s. You know how that turned out, Super Bowl. They did it. Now, you didn't see him play, but I did. Jack Kemp days in the old AFL when they won in 64 and 65. And there's a long way to go, but there's excitement up in Western New York, and they don't play New England until middle of the year and then almost toward the end of the year. All right, now, another team undefeated would be the Chicago Bears. Could they go to 4-0? Well, you know the story.
Yep.
Nick Foles relief last week. He's starting. Phillip Rivers. Young man Rivers playing for the Colts. Rivers, Zach Pascal. Well, he can still air it. You know that. 36-yard gain in a scoreless game early. 3 plays later, 3rd and 5. Rivers, time. Mo Alley Cox ducks his head, 13-yard touchdown.
It's a new thing in the NFL. You run your receivers and your tight ends on crossing routes and allow them to uncover. Nice throw, nice catch. Mo Alley Cox for the touchdown.
Phillip always fired up. So Foles, instead of Mitch Trubisky on the sidelines, but he found the going tough against one of the top defenses in football. The Darnell Mooney, though, he makes a catch of 33 yards. Big play Bears. Would this get him going? 3rd and 6 inside the 10. Ball behind Demetrius Harris. Causes them to settle for a field goal 7-3.
Even if he catches, he wasn't going to score, but he was definitely off target there.
Under a minute to go. It's a 10-3 lead. Colts fill up, but he's sacked by Brent Urban. Tough spot for Rivers to take a sack. Rodrigo, oh darn, you sunk my Blankenship. That's a new one. 30-yard field goal. It's a family show.
I like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
13-3, kicker from Georgia. Bears, 3rd and 10 in Colts territory, but they're down 16-3. Deflected, intercepted Julian Blackmon. And a critical turnover. This is not what Coach Nagy was looking for.
It's not. Ball's going to be intercepted. Pretty good throw. You got to think, though, Anthony Miller, yeah, ball touches your hands, you got to catch it. That's what all receivers coaches say.
So the Colts take over. Then their possession. And a little flip out. Phillip Rivers. Foles to Allen Robinson, a 16-yard touchdown. Incredible catch, Robinson. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Great job of Foles giving his guy an opportunity on a 50-50 ball. Robinson going up and making a play. 19-11, onside kick. Yeah, nah. Only unfortunately, if you sit and watch it go 10 yards, you're going to get it, right? So Burton covers it. Colts knocked the Bears from the rank of the undefeated. And Indy, remember, they were stunned in week 1. Both these teams are 3-1. And you have to give a shout out to Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator of the Indianapolis Colts. One of the top 2 or 3 defenses in football. They are playing outstanding. And as long as Rivers doesn't turn it over, look out up in Indianapolis.
Jags at Bengals. And you know, with Minshew and Joe Burrow, this becomes interesting, right? Well, let's see what we've got in store today. Minshew. DJ, chark. That's nice.
Great body control, slowed his body down and allowed himself to catch the football, and then did a nice little toe dance there. That's great control for the LSU wide receiver.
Well, the Bengals trailing 7-3. Joe Burrow. Watch this play. Drew Sample. Miles Jack is like the last one left from that defense. What a play he just made, Booger.
Former running back at UCLA, and dare I say those running back skills came out as he actually caught it without ever seeing the ball thrown over his shoulder.
What a play to save it. But Burrow says, you know what, I got Joe Mixon. And Mixon says, I got you, babe. Takes a licking, but into the end zone. What a play. Tied at 10.
Glad Cincinnati figured out that Joe Mixon, he needs to touch the ball more in Cincinnati.
Hey, the fans high-fiving, quote, everyone around. They're ghosts, but so what? They're having fun. The Bengals, could this be their day? Little flip. The Lavicia should know. Minshew is down at the 2 with 18 seconds to go. 10 second tick at the end of the half. They got to spike it. Tick. Come on, let's get organized. Tick. They end up having to settle for a field goal. Tough getting everybody organized, right? A lot of big guys to move around.
Exactly. A lot of beef.
A lot of furniture to move. Third quarter, Bengals trail 13-10 until Mixon mixes his way into the end zone. 34-yard touchdown, 17-13 Bengals. Next drive. You know what? Why don't I give it to Mixon again, right? Look at him. Gone. Another touchdown, 24-13.
He should touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's that good of a running back.
30-16, and then Minshew says, wait a minute. That finds Chark again for their second hookup of the day. No good on the 2-point conversion, but it's a one-score game, 30-22. How do you ice it? How about Mixon? Just keeps mixing it up. 11 yards, a first down, 181 total yards for him. Field goal, Bullock seals it, and not going to win any more at LSU. He's starting to catch up. Gets his first win in the NFL. That's Joe Burrow, and congratulations to him. They haven't lost in a couple of weeks now.
2 weeks.
A tie and a win, and you know what? You can see it coming. Good win for Cincinnati.
Good win. They finally realized you can't throw it 61 times. Allow Joe Mixon to touch the football. 25 carries. That's a great formula.
And you know who likes the formula? Joe Burrow.
When we finally recovered that onside, I was looking at the clock. I was talking to Ryan, and we're like, gosh, 12 seconds. That seems like a long time. everyone was had that mindset on the sideline. Then we got out there in victory formation. It felt great.
The victory formation. Well, both Minnesota and Houston looking for a victory formation. They're both 0-3.
Somebody's O has to go.
So, right. That's very good. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson moving on up for a 26-yard game. Now watch Dalvin Cook. And get out. Just get out. Did you hear me? Touchdown, 17-3 Vikings.
Just a really good job of tough physical running. He normally likes to bounce it outside. He stuck his foot in the ground and just physical with the stiff arm there. Nice running by Cook.
Sean Watson, Jordan Akins. Can Houston get it going? That's nice. 26, and Harrison Smith tossed because helmet to helmet.
Well, and this was the correct call. There's no room in our game to lead with your helmet and put someone else in danger. Correct call. Harrison Smith knows better. He's a veteran player.
So now, 17-6, Watson firing. Will Fuller, touchdown. Now we got a game, 17-13. Now 17-16, late third. Cousins, Jefferson, nice, 23 yards.
I got to think there's a new #1 receiver developing in Minnesota.
Pretty good. And they got Thielen. Did I mention Thielen? Oh, what a Thielen. Adams dancing in the ceiling end zone. 24-16, touchdown Minnesota. 31-16 now. I mean, really? They're going to go 0-4? Deshaun Watson says not yet. Kenny Stills, wide open. Smith's replacement, Eloka. Maybe a little out of position, 31-23. Now Watson, next possession. Firing. Defensive pass interference, Anthony Harris.
Good call. And the right call, too. First, Watson's got to get some help from some of these receivers, though.
Yep, Watson. To David Johnson. You know he's capable down to the 5. But this was the play right here. Right? It's a pitch to Johnson. Maybe he gets in if he holds the ball, but we will never know. That's a tough one.
You got to think with the game on the line, I want my $40 million franchise quarterback carrying the ball, not pitching the ball to David Johnson. I don't like the play call, but if he catches it, maybe he gets in.
Well, one more play, but now a little bit of a hole. Looking for Fuller. Oh, did he get it? It's close. Let's take a look. Let's review it. This is the ball. Did it move after he hit the...
Did not have control. The ball can hit the ground if you have control, but if you have no control, the ball cannot hit the ground. Correct call there.
So, in the end, Houston is the one that did not get rid of the O, the defending division champs in South. Minnesota off the schneid. They needed it. Playing Seattle next week out there. Minnesota wins it 31-23. Well, just because we turned the calendar from September to October, we didn't really think in week 4 that, now the defenses have caught up, because it looks like it's just going to be, it's early yet. It's going to be the highest scoring year we've ever had, Booger.
Well, that's how it's going to be, because the defenses are still behind. The offenses are scoring at a high rate. And if you're a defensive coordinator, you got to tell your defensive guys, we don't have to pitch shutouts back in the day like the Ravens or the Bucs did. Here's what we got to do. We got to get timely stops and turnovers to put our offense back in the right position. If we do that, that's how we're going to judge playing a really good defensive game.
And offenses are really calling games. We've seen a lot of the teams like, let's push the envelope, even in spots that we're not 100% comfortable for, because we're going to need some more points. But you know what? What do we say? Like, the ball's juiced.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way it must be. You got some game balls. You got some big guys, don't you?
Some big guys. I'm going to Cleveland Browns.
I like
Anytime you rush for 300 yards as an offense, the offensive line has to do some great work. Yes, there was Hunt. There was Odell Beckham Jr. There was Nick Chubb running the football. They controlled the line of scrimmage. I don't care if it was against the Cowboys. The physicality that they showed was outstanding.
Well, you talk about forcing the issue and scoring points like Cleveland is doing. Seattle Seahawks over 30 every game. Russell Wilson, 16 touchdown passes in 4 games. A mere 2 in week 4. He's really slipping, right? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Russell Wilson, Seahawks are one of these teams that are going out and playing it differently, to your point. Let's score, let's get moving, and he uses all of his weapons. And the Seahawks, it's the biggest reason, obviously, why the Seattle Seahawks are 4-0. And by the way, when the Seahawks land back from Miami, they will have flown already after week 4 more miles than the Baltimore Ravens will all year. Now, I mean, that's not a knock on anybody. It's just, so the Ravens, I think, fly for less than 7,000, and they've gone to Atlanta, they've gone to Miami. It's just showing jet lag. Seahawks are fighting jet lag in addition to everybody else. How about that?
Yeah, but I'm sure they got some nice meals on that private plane.
I think they do. Wow, listen, hope you've enjoyed this edition. We are having fun, but we're not done because we have more football games, plenty more. Big teams to talk about. Here's Scott Van Pelt.
Boomer, thank you very much. The Philadelphia Eagles with an opportunity, amazingly enough, to lead the NFC East if they could get a victory on the road against San Francisco on Sunday night. The Niners banged up. Nick Mullins starting at quarterback once again. By the end of this one, though, there'd be a different quarterback on the field. Early in the game, although late in the first quarter, Brandon Ayuk, the rookie. Boomer, forgive me for stealing your own words. Up and over Marcus Epps. Ayuk, for the second consecutive week, has a rushing touchdown and is able to time it just right. Melvin Gordon took a helmet in the man region. Keep wondering when this jumping is going to stop, but folks keep jumping. If you can do that, I suppose jump all you like. Niners fans jumping for joy that this guy's back. George Kittle doing a little Steve Austin, celebrating the touchdown that gave the Niners the lead. This was on a 3rd down, and it's 14-8. Home team. Into the 4th quarter, 14-11, Eagles hanging around, and their defense starts to make plays. Trayvon LeBlanc knocks the ball loose. Malik Jackson would come up with a fumble. Another look as LeBlanc is able to knock it free with his helmet, and the Eagles have an opportunity. Field goal would tie it. Could they get a touchdown? Short answer is yes. 2nd and 18, up top, it's Travis Fulgham. What a grab. Just his 2nd in the NFL, and it's his 1st career touchdown. Juggling, keeping his feet in bounds, and trying to find his way into the end zone. There's a lot going on in this play, and he's able to pull it off. And the Eagles lead 18-14. First play after the touchdown, Carson Wentz and the Eagles out in front, and Mullins would extend Philly's lead. He throws it right to Alex Singleton. Not sure what Mullins saw there. Mullins' 3rd turnover of the game. Singleton makes a nice move and shows some speed there. Now the Eagles have an 11-point lead. So Shanahan decides it's time to give C.J. Beathard a shot at it, and immediately he moves them down the field. They need 2 scores. And Beathard would find Deebo Samuel in his first action back after being injured before the season started. 2nd-year man out of South Carolina. Michael Bourne looked like he had scored. They took a look. He was down just short of the goal line. Jerick McKinnon hit hard at the goal line, but in. Obviously, you decide to go for 2. Beathard, great play design, and Kittle made just about every grab on the night, but could not squeeze that one. So now it's a 5-point game. They try an onside kick, don't get it. Philadelphia exhausts San Francisco's timeouts. Wentz decides not to throw it there, so they get the ball back out of timeouts. Beathard finds Kittle, who had 15 grabs, 183 yards. Tied Vernon Davis for the most 100-yard games in history for the tight end position for San Francisco. Give Philadelphia credit. They got some pressure on 2nd and 3rd, so now it's 4th. Beathard up top. TJ'd say knock it down. The Eagles didn't quite accomplish knocking it down. They batted it around, and for a moment it was hanging perilously in the air for the Eagles, but it hits the deck. And Philadelphia, Carson Wentz with a banged up offensive line, not a ton of weapons out there at the wide receiver position. They go on the road and get a victory, and amazingly enough, at 1-2-1, they lead the NFC East. They head to Pittsburgh next week. Obviously, the Steelers had an unintended bye this week. Meanwhile, San Francisco will hope to get back some of those injured starters as they will welcome Miami to town, a surprising 2-2 through 4 games of the 2020 season.
So we thought the playing field might have been evened up just a little bit with Atlanta having their 2 star wide receivers and Green Bay not having their 2 star wide receivers. And, well, you guys were mistaken. No question about that. Let's go to the pretty pictures tonight from Lambeau Field. Doesn't seem to matter who Aaron Rodgers throws to. He makes everybody look like a star receiver. First Packers possession. Aaron Jones had himself a game running and catching, 27 yards up the middle. and then they throw to him.
Yeah, I mean, great play design from Matt LaFleur all night, getting the backs and tight ends involved. And this secondary for the Atlanta Falcons didn't know how to react.
Falcons had a 20-play drive, took 10.5 off the clock. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones on a key 4th down. They wind up settling for a field goal, though, after a 20-play drive. Later in the second quarter, Rodgers found Robert Tonyan.
They try to blitz Aaron Rodgers and leave that secondary vulnerable, and Tonyan was all over the map tonight.
Tonyan is slowly making a name for himself. Touchdowns in 3 consecutive games. Second half, Falcons down 17. Todd Gurley still running hard.
They just didn't get a chance to see enough of this tonight. They didn't get a chance to really get him going, although he was productive down around the goal line.
Following possession, here's Rodgers to Tonyan. Again, had a great pocket. Wide open is Tonyan, able to stroll in for the touchdown.
You could have thrown this one, Levy.
That young secondary just struggled all night long.
Hang on, how many? 2, 3. Aaron, how many? 1, 2, 3. Aaron Rodgers had that kind of night and that kind of good time. It's as if he can do anything he wants and to any player, any teammate he wants.
He said he's going to play it as long as he's having fun, and he's certainly having fun. He's 36 years old. He has a young head coach with a new system that he's starting to grow into, and I think the sky's the limit for those two.
Yeah, you just see how diverse and multiple they are from a personnel standpoint, too. So you have to shout out their front office. They really have proven a lot of us wrong in the media who said maybe they didn't do enough to help their football team.
Right.
Well, a lot of these young players have come along, and the Hall of Famer right now, that being Aaron Rodgers, is making the best use of them.
And they're going to get healthy, right?
Yeah.
They go into the bye at 4-0. Haven't been in the Super Bowl since 2010. Look an awful lot like a Super Bowl team here tonight.
And thank you. The action in Week 4 stretched out a little longer than originally planned, but you can't beat wall-to-wall football.
You just can't.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
You know, coffee and a donut. You know, this is $5.99 a month. It's easy. Thanks for watching Week 4 of NFL Primetime. For Booker McFarland, I'm Chris Berman. See you soon.